With Doubtnut, get instant video solutions to all your maths, physics, chemistry, and biology doubts. Just click the image of the question, crop the question, and get instant video solution. Download Doubtnut app today.
In this question, we have a graph which represents the response of different living organisms to various abiotic factors. And after observing this graph, we have to select the correct option for the curves 1, 2, and 3. Now we all know that the different living organisms which comprise a biotic community or a biological community in an ecosystem, apart from interacting amongst themselves, they also have to interact with various abiotic factors. So the main abiotic factors which can affect living organisms are temperature, water, sunlight, and soil. And the living organisms need to adjust with these abiotic factors in order to survive. But there are different approaches that living organisms can take to the changing environmental conditions. So some of the living organisms we see, they're not able to maintain a constant internal environment. So what is going to happen in such organisms? Their internal environment is going to change along with the ambient conditions. So if the temperature is going to rise in the environment, then their body temperature also becomes high. If the osmotic concentration is going to change in their environment, then the osmotic concentration of their body will also change accordingly. So such living organisms are represented in curve number 1, where we can see how the internal level is changing accordingly with the external level. So the ambient conditions are affecting the internal environment. So such organisms are, since they are conforming, since they are changing along with the ambient conditions, we will call them conformers. Now the second curve which has been given over here, we can see how the external conditions are changing, but the internal level, the internal environment is the same. So such living organisms are known as the regulators, which have the ability to maintain a constant internal environment despite changing ambient conditions, or we can say they are able to maintain homeostasis. Now they might use different kinds of mechanisms. It might be morphological, behavioral, or even a physiological change which enables the organism to regulate their internal environment in such a way. But such organisms, which are represented by the second curve, are known as regulators because they can maintain the homeostasis in their body. Now the third curve is showing that in this living organism we can say there is a combination of both of these things. Up to some point it is able to regulate. If there is some fluctuation in the ambient conditions, then the organism is not immediately affected. That is, they can maintain their body temperature and osmotic concentration. But if the fluctuation is very large, or the temperature or any other condition in the environment changes very drastically, then these organisms are not able to regulate their internal environment, because obviously always maintaining constant internal environment needs a lot of energy. Energetically, it's a very expensive process, and that is why some of the organisms are also partial regulators, which are going to try to regulate their internal environment up to some point, but if the changes in ambient conditions are very drastic, then they will simply conform. So option A is our correct answer over here, where in our graph, comparing the changes in internal level with the external changes, we have seen 3 types of approaches of different living organisms, and corresponding to the curve that has been given, they are respectively conformers, regulators, and partial regulators.
For class 6 to 12, IIT JEE and NEET level. Trusted by more than 5 crore students. Download Doubtnut app today.